to the President of India for his approval before a President rule can actually be, imposed in the state of Maharashtra. This comes in amidst, speculations that, what kind of partnerships could really be formed in Maharashtra. Everybody seems to be trying their luck. But it seems that, finally, the BJP will not be too unhappy with this development, really speaking, because they would think that this is the best possible scenario given the circumstances that none of these alliance partners were able to come in together.
That's right. Payal B with us. Arunima is also with us. Arunima, obviously questions will be asked as to how can the governor recommend President's rule in the state, when he is given time to the NCP essentially, isn't it?
So the governor's, explanation to the centre in his recommendation is that he has been following the situation as it is developing in Maharashtra, and it is his assessment that no party is in a position to give a stable government to Maharashtra. He has mentioned in that recommendation that the Bharatiya Janata Party, being the party with the most number of MLAs, was given first chance. Fadnavis, who was the elected leader, said the BJP is not in a position to form the government. Then Shiv Sena was given a chance again, and even though NCP has been given time till 8:30, the governor in his recommendation says that his assessment is that there is nothing to indicate at this stage that NCP or Congress can provide stability, and that's why that recommendation for President's rule has been made. Of course, it will be challenged legally. Shiv Sena is already indicating that they will knock at the doors of the Supreme Court. Yes. Their logic being, if you have given us time till 8:30, what is the rush? Why can't you wait till then? The answer to which is that the Prime Minister is actually leaving for Brazil. He's going abroad. So if the governor had waited till 8:30 and then recommended, the cabinet would not have been in a position to take action, and that's why this rush.
All right, and that's the story that we're getting at this hour. Again, some news coming in, like Arunima was saying, that Shiv Sena is going to challenge this legally, is going to take a legal recourse against the governor's recommendations for President's rule. Sources saying that Uddhav Thackeray has spoken to Kapil Sibal and Ahmed Patel. Kapil Sibal approached to represent the Shiv Sena in the Supreme Court is what we can confirm right now. Vinaya Deshpande and Radhika Ramaswamy also with us. Radhika, it's very clear the Shiv Sena is not going to take this line down, though this move really seems to have backfired of pulling out of the NDA on the Sena, but they're going to fight it till the end and are going to move Supreme Court.
Yes, absolutely. Sena is going to challenge this before the Supreme Court. They call it illegal and unconstitutional, and they feel that governor is working under the behest of vested interests. This is what the Sena sources are telling us, that they are not at all happy about the fact that even before the deadline of 8:30 is met by the NCP, the governor is recommending that President's rule. And not just that, they also feel that even if NCP takes time, even if at 8:30 NCP goes ahead and tells the governor that we need more time to, finalize the modalities with the Alliance Congress as well as with Shiv Sena, even then the Shiv Sena believes that governor cannot recommend a President's rule unless all the options are exhausted in front of the governor. As far as Sena sources are concerned, what they are saying is that if it's not NCP, then probably they should call the Congress, and if not the independents, and all the options should be exhausted, and President's rule should be the last option as far as the governor is concerned, because here yesterday the Shiv Sena themselves went and expressed their willingness to form the government. BJP said they're not.
All right, be with us, Radhika. In fact, Sushil Kumar Shinde is responding to these developments.
कर सकती है और नया सरकार आ सकता है.
सर, मराठीमध्ये सांगा झाला असं आपल्याला वाटतं, आणि शिवसेनेसोबत आता जाण्यामध्ये काही आपल्याला ऑब्जेक्शन आहे का? नाही,
आम्हाला ऑब्जेक्शन वगैरे आता कालच्या सगळ्या स्थितीमुळे तुम्हाला हे सगळ्यांना कल्पना आहे. आजच्या ह्या परिस्थितीमध्ये महाराष्ट्रामध्ये कशा तऱ्हेनं आपल्याला सरकार स्थापन करायचं ही भूमिका आहे. आम्ही एनसीपी बरोबर आहोत. जे काय करायचं ते एनसीपीच्या विचाराने आम्ही सगळे हे करतो आहोत.
All right, Radhika continues to be with us on that story, and Zeba is also there with us. Zeba, to you now. It does appear from what our colleagues in Mumbai are pointing out that Kapil Sibal has been approached by the Sena. Is there also a confirmation that is coming in from your end that Sibal is going to be representing the Shiv Sena in Supreme Court?
Shiv Sena is taking the legal course against President rule recommendation by the governor, and sources have confirmed to me that Kapil Sibal, senior advocate and Congress leader, has been approached by the Shiv Sena to represent them in the Supreme Court when they do challenge the President's rule, and it is quite in the realm of possibility that Mr. Sibal could represent Shiv Sena in this particular case in the Supreme Court.
All right, it's a possibility is what Zeba is indicating. Zeba, meanwhile, what about the Congress party? Just take us to the kind of deliberations that have been going on since morning, and we saw this reluctance on the part of the interim president of the Congress, Sonia Gandhi, to in fact give that letter of support. What next really? Just take us to the details.
Certainly, that was the allegation that came in from the NCP fold, that the delay has been on the part of the Congress. But the Congress sources have consistently been telling us that there has been no delay from the Congress's side. In fact, in order to rush up the process just before that 8:30 p.m. deadline, Sonia Gandhi deputed Mallikarjun Kharge, Ahmed Patel and K.C. Venugopal to go to Mumbai and speak to Sharad Pawar to formalize the modalities, to finalize the nitty-gritties of an arrangement between them, NCP and Shiv Sena. And for that, they in fact are on their way to Mumbai to meet Sharad Pawar. So while the Congress and the NCP were now in a way rushing up their process to come up with an arrangement, and they were hoping that at 8:30 p.m. when the NCP goes to meet the governor, they would go with a willingness to form government. But then at the same time, this is certainly coming as a shock to many within the Congress party that the governor would go ahead and recommend President's rule even before that 8:30 p.m. deadline.
All right, be with us, Seba. Vinaya, coming to you, this move really of pulling out of the NDA seems to have backfired on the Sena, but they're keeping their legal options ready as well.
Yes, absolutely, and that is what we've seen right now, that though the plugs have been pulled, but all kinds of, amid all these kinds of speculations and the actions and the decisions that have been announced about the President's rule in Maharashtra, one thing that is interesting that is happening from Maharashtra now is that a part of the Shiv Sena leaders are now saying that it was possibly time for the Shiv Sena to go back to the BJP, and it was time for the BJP to realign with them. Otherwise, the farmers in Maharashtra end up suffering. In fact, top Shiv Sena sources have also said that there is pressure on the Sena from the corporate fraternity that now the Sena should approach the Prime Minister himself, requesting him to intervene in this matter and end this deadlock. So on one hand, while all doors seem to be closing, while Congress and NCP still seem to be taking it lying down, saying the imposition of President's rule does not mean the end to the story, and they will still continue deliberating on the issues. The Shiv Sena seems to be dilly-dallying at this point in time, though.
You know, Vinay, if you can take us to the details of any reaction that really has come in from the NCP, given the fact that they were actually the third party, as they claim, to be called by the governor yesterday. In fact, the deadline, of course, is for 8:30 today.
Yes, the deadline is for 8:30 today, and no reactions have yet come from the NCP because the core committee of the NCP continues their meeting here right behind me at the Yashwantrao Chavan Center. That meeting is going on from around 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the 5th floor here. Until that meeting gets over, there will be no word really as to what the NCP's next move is going to be. But right now, the NCP doesn't seem too disturbed and perturbed by this move. It has said that the application of President's rule does not really mean anything because there still is time. If they can get the majority, they will be able to go to the governor again.
That's right. Radhika, you know, give us an idea about what next really. Of course, this is going to require the clearance of the cabinet. What after that? Explain this to us, put this into perspective.
You know, as far as the Shiv Sena camp is concerned here, I am outside Matoshi, and there are a series of meetings happening inside the Sena camp itself. We saw many senior leaders, including Arvind Sawant, going in and meeting Uddhav Thackeray, and many other leaders also going in as we speak. So there is a meeting within the Sena camp that is happening. There are meetings that are happening as far as NCP and Congress is concerned. Now there is this deadline of 8:30 p.m. Most likely NCP will seek time, and now that the governor is already planning to in a mood to recommend a president's rule, that has not gone down well with Sena at all, which is why they say that they will move court. How can the governor, when he has so many options in front of him, when it was not that Sena did not show willingness, Sena showed willingness and sought time, then NCP has been given a time. In the middle of all this, how can the governor go ahead and recommend president's rule when all the options have not been exhausted? And that has to be the last resort for governor, is what, not just the Sena leaders, but also NCP and Congress leaders are telling us that, it cannot be happening the way it is, and they are saying that this is illegal, unconstitutional, and also the fact that probably the governor is acting under some vested interest. So this is the kind of reaction that we are getting as far as Sena, Congress, NCP is concerned. But yes, talks are still going on, even though there is a possibility that they may move court against this governor's decision. Talks are still going on as to how they can come up with a consensus on this alliance. Sena, of course, just waiting and hoping that Congress, NCP figure, all the terms and conditions and lay it in front of them. For Sena, it is what they need right now is their chief minister's position. And
I am not aware as to who all are